Hey guys, it's Christina Cimorelli. Welcome back to my second channel. You probably know me from my main channel, Cimorelli, which is the band I'm in with my sisters. On this channel, I make videos about pregnancy, eventually motherhood, motivational, inspirational stuff, marriage, and life advice. So for today's video, this is going to be my third trimester pregnancy update Q&A. A bunch of you guys were like, please update us on your pregnancy, how's everything going, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? Might as well do a Q&A since you guys have a lot of good questions. So on my Instagram, which is in the description if you want to follow me there, I asked you guys what you want to know and I got your questions right here. So I'm going to take a look-see and see what you guys wanted to know. What has changed since the other trimesters? Okay, so I'm 35 weeks, which is like 8 months pregnant or something like that. So I am almost there, almost at the end of the third trimester, but I'm really not into like the hardest part yet. So keep that in mind. So what has changed since the other trimesters? I'm so much heavier. It is painful with this giant stomach. If you want to like see updates on that, go to my Instagram. I don't feel like standing up right now, guys. I just really don't. It's definitely harder because I'm heavier and I get more tired. Breathing is a lot more difficult now. Sometimes I just have to raise my arms and like try really hard to take a breath. It's difficult. My mindset is different. Everything's like setting in and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I don't have as much energy as the second trimester, but in some ways I have more. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know if I have more mental or physical energy than I did second trimester, but something's different, but I can't quite put my finger on it. That's kind of confusing. Why don't you show your stomach and your bruises? Okay, so you're probably confused by that if you don't know that I have a blood clotting disorder. So I have to take a shot in my stomach every day. I have to give myself a shot. And I used to be really bruised from it. I'm actually not that bruised anymore, but basically I haven't shown my like bare stomach in anything on the internet ever. That's just not really something I'm into. That's kind of the only reason. And I don't know if everyone wants to see my bruises anyway. Yeah, so anyway, it's just not my thing. Okay, do you think he will be born on your birthday? So my birthday is August 12th and he's due just a couple days later. There's a big chance he could be born on my birthday. I kind of don't think so, but could. I don't know, that'd be exciting. Are you finding it harder to sing now? I actually think maybe in like the second trimester I found it harder to sing, and then maybe I strengthened my diaphragm or something and now it's not so hard, but I definitely did before. That was true. How has Nick been through all this? My husband Nick. He has been so incredible. Like I can't even explain. He has been so supportive, so helpful. I'm just like shocked because it's been really difficult at times and he's just been so amazing. I'm just like, I'm so thankful that I married you. You are awesome. How has the band changed to fit your new conditions? Well, there have been some really difficult work days since being pregnant. Maybe not too many really difficult work days, maybe like 10 days total in 8 months. Really difficult days where I was just like, I can barely do this. And there's been a few days where I had to be like, I have to quit working at like 2 or 3, I gotta go home, or like, I can't work today. That's really, really, really rare though. I only do that if I'm like really feeling bad. So we've just adjusted to a little bit of shorter hours and a little bit like less ambitious with my scheduling, which is working really well because we've gotten so much done. So I'm really excited about that. I know you said you won't show your babies much, but will we ever get to see them? So they're talking about online, how I'm not into the idea of putting my kids online very much. I think showing babies online is okay. So I think I'll show babies online a decent amount, but then once they get just a little older, like toddler age, then not gonna be very much. I will not be sharing very much about them personally. Maybe I will without saying like their names, maybe. Eventually when I have more kids, maybe, but I won't be like sharing tons of pictures all the time of all my kids because I think they need to have their privacy. So you will see a lot of baby stuff for sure, but just not when they get older. What is the most rewarding part of pregnancy for you? Well, knowing that I'm carrying my child and I'm like raising this child in my womb right now. I'm gonna be raising them out of the womb. I mean, that's the rewarding part. The rest of it is kind of painful. What's the biggest blessing you've discovered during this pregnancy? Oh my gosh, so much. Probably just the opportunity to grow mentally so much and develop so much more strength and such a better mindset towards pain. That has been a huge blessing, and I feel so much stronger than I've ever been through this. Also, the way that my marriage has like blossomed with Nick has been a huge blessing. That's been amazing. And oh, actually maybe like even more body acceptance than I had before, I would say. I feel like really good about my body now. I felt good before, but now I feel like really good. And also my relationship with food has gotten even better. I feel like I've been so good with intuitive eating. I haven't been doing any like watching what I'm eating like very much, except for like trying to make sure I'm getting healthy things in there to like nourish my body and everything. But mostly I have not been like doing anything special, but I've been really intuitive with my eating and just like paying attention to like, how did this make me feel when I ate it? Should I eat it again? Is it giving me heartburn? Is it giving me a stomach ache? Like, what's it doing? So I've gotten so in touch with my body for intuitive eating, and I really just eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full, and it feels amazing. So that's awesome. Do you have a name yet? Kind of. We have a name that we really like, which is crazy because didn't think that was gonna happen. Well, I thought it was gonna happen, but I was just like, it was so hard for 7 months, 7.5 months, we did not at all. And I was like, what's this baby gonna be named? But I think we might have a name. I don't know. How are you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. Some days are really, really, really difficult, and most days are pretty good. I feel a lot stronger physically and mentally now because I've been carrying so much weight. I'm getting a lot stronger, so I feel good. Are you gonna do a baby room tour? Well, the baby's gonna be in our room for a while. The nursery is being set up. I don't really, guys, I'm not like this aesthetic person. I don't know if you noticed that, but I don't know how good it's really gonna look. I mean, Lauren's gonna help me with it, my sister, but is it gonna be that good? I don't know. Have your pregnancy's cravings changed since the beginning? Okay, so here's the thing. I always thought pregnancy was like this time when you have this insane appetite and you want to eat everything and you're like, oh, I have to have Taco Bell at 3 in the morning and something like that. It didn't really happen to me at all. I've always had an insane appetite and like crazy cravings where I'm like, oh, I have to have this. I have to have that. I've always been like that. So I was like, whoa, being pregnant is probably gonna be crazy. No, it hasn't at all. It's actually been more tame than my usual life, which is weird. I would say the only thing that I would actually label an actual pregnancy craving has been fruit, which is really weird. So I mean, I've always like liked fruit, I guess, but I've never been like, oh my gosh, I love fruit. I've never been like that in my life. In like the second trimester, I started becoming like obsessed with strawberries, frozen mangoes, and watermelon. Oh my gosh, there's always watermelon in my fridge now. Guys, I did not care about fruit that much before. I like never had it in my house, did not give a rip. Now I'm just so excited to eat fruit, like cold fruit. I also keep like a thing of grapes in my fridge. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I did not think fruit was that good before. So I would say fruit is my only real craving, particularly strawberries and watermelon. Do you think the baby will be born early, late, or on his due date? I definitely can say he will not be born late, at least I don't think, because I probably have to be induced, but not like super early, like pretty later on because of my blood clotting disorder, but I might go into labor before then, so I don't know what's gonna happen. So I would say he's definitely not gonna come late. How are you feeling about post-baby body? Really good. I feel good about my body now. I don't feel like any pressure of like, oh no, I have to do all this crazy stuff after I give birth. I feel like really good. I'm also really excited to get my stomach back, get my stomach given back to me, because sleeping and like having to feel the weight of this stomach and not being able to just flop onto my stomach when I want, and like lots of stuff about that is just uncomfortable. So I'm really looking forward to getting my stomach back from this guy. Thank you. But I feel really good about my post-baby body. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I've never really done anything crazy, like eating and exercise-wise, which I don't think you should. You should treat your body with respect and love. So I'm just gonna keep eating the way I'm eating now, which is intuitively. And I'm really looking forward to being able to exercise more though. I love exercise. I think it's so fun. And I don't get to do that much right now because I get really tired. Right now I do like a walk every day almost, and it's maybe 20 to 45 minutes. The other day was only 15 minutes. I was not feeling it at all, but I'm really trying hard to walk because everyone's telling me that's a really good thing to do. And then I do these really light workouts that I'm really enjoying that make me feel really strong. From my pelvic floor physical therapist, they're like stretches and like light strengthening things. So I'm really enjoying that. It's been really a cool journey for my mindset with like exercise and my body and all that. It's been really, really cool. Will you take a few weeks off after the baby? Yes. I am not gonna be like, yay, here's the baby, I'm going to work. I am not doing that. I mean, I probably would do that in another life. I am not doing that. That is not gonna work. We have planned it all out so I can take several weeks off and then play it by ear and see like when I can come back. And I'm trying so hard to be really smart about this and to not overdo it, because we're gonna have to adjust the work schedule after the baby comes, and I'm gonna have to do it. It's gonna be something brand new because none of us have ever had a baby before, and I'm just gonna have to play it by ear. But you know what? I'm great at playing by ear, so it's gonna be fun. Is the baby kicking a lot? Oh my gosh, yes. He moves so much. It's kind of insane. Sometimes it's kind of painful at night. I'm just like, oh, please calm down. It's starting to hurt a little bit. But he's very active, which makes me feel very good, especially after having miscarriage. I'm very happy that he's very active, so I can be like, okay, you good in there? You good in there? What's one thing about pregnancy that surprised you? Something no one talks about. I mean, honestly, all of it surprised me. Like, I thought I had an idea of what it would be like to be pregnant, and I had no idea what it would be like. I don't know what's one thing that nobody talks about. I can't think of anything no one talks about. I think because on the internet, people are bringing awareness to so many new things, so that is great. Maybe sciatica pain, your sciatic nerve. It's like the back of your, like it's your back down the back of your leg. And I had no idea that that can just flare up in pregnancy. And it's like, that can happen without pregnancy too, but I had no idea it can flare up and like make your leg really painful to like sit on, stand, walk. All you can do is lay on your side. I didn't know that was gonna happen, and that was really painful, and that's kind of common. How have you dealt with other people's expectations for you and your pregnancy/baby? I am lucky to have a support system around me who doesn't really put any expectations on me at all, which is awesome. Maybe it's more just like people on the internet, but just my personality, I've never cared like too much what people think. I really enjoy not doing what people want me to do also, so I'm fine with that. Can you talk about your personal growth around pain that you mentioned? Love you. Thank you. Love you too. So I mentioned this on Instagram. People were saying like, now that you've had like kind of a rough pregnancy, I would say like a medium rough pregnancy. I know some people have really, really, really rough pregnancies. Mine's like been medium. It has not been like amazing at all, pain-free or something. It's been very difficult. But I would say it's like middle of the road. But I talked about how people said, do you not want to have so many kids now that you've experienced that? It's like all the challenges, the difficulty, and the pain. And I said, at first, I was kind of like, how would I do this again? This is so hard. But then I realized like, okay, I want to accept pain. Like, I want to be able to accept that this is how my body's feeling. There's nothing wrong with me. This is just the way that it is while I'm developing this baby inside of me, and my body's changing, doing all this stuff, and it's gonna be okay. So I just kept reminding myself that I can handle this. I can handle this. There's nothing wrong with my body. I'm growing this baby, blah, blah, blah. And just saying like, I can do this. I'm gonna adjust to this. I made up my mind that I was going to adjust to feeling discomfort and pain almost every day and every night. And that was that. that I could adjust to it, I could get used to it, and that was possible. And then there would be new challenges, like every couple months, a new like pain or discomfort, uncomfortable situation would be introduced to my body. And I would just say, okay, I'm gonna adjust to it. Like, I was really used to sleeping 9 hours a night, you guys. Really used to it. Like, I am such a good sleeper my whole life. And then throughout this pregnancy, that just kind of went away. And a lot of nights, I'd be waking up multiple times in the middle of the night. I would only get like 4 hours of sleep, 5, 6, 7. And for plenty of people, that's like normal. But for me, I just wasn't used to that at all. So at first I was so freaked out, like, oh no, I'm not getting any sleep. I'm gonna be useless during the day. I'm gonna be so tired. I'm not gonna be able to do anything. And it was kind of like that at first. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to adjust this anyway for after the baby gets here. So I'm gonna adjust to not sleeping very much. It's gonna be okay. If I don't get very much sleep, I'm gonna be fine. I will adjust to it. I'm determined. So I was just kind of making up my mind that no matter what happened to me, I was going to express my feelings about it. I wasn't going to say, this feels great when it feels horrible. No, no, no. I was going to express and accept my feelings. Like, this is scary. This is new. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. This feels weird. This hurts, whatever. Whatever my feelings were about it. But then I would say, this is scary, but I know that I will be able to develop the mental strength to handle it over time. And it's okay if I'm scared. It's okay if I feel kind of hopeless sometimes. It's okay if this is just so new to me and I don't know how to handle it. It's okay, but I will develop the skills, the tools, the strength to handle it. And I made up my mind on that, and that has been amazing for me. So I feel really strong now, which is really cool. How have you dealt with body changes and body image? I actually did a video on this. I'll link it in the description. Watch that one because I don't want to repeat myself because I already went through it in there. But it was just a lot of mindset stuff. Like, it was a lot of me making certain choices about what I was going to think about my body and what I wasn't, and like getting my mindset right and not putting like stupid expectations on myself. I'm kind of scared but also confident in myself. I've done so much preparation and like strengthening and mindset work and lots of stuff, and I'm really confident in myself that I'll be able to handle whatever happens. But I'm definitely like maybe a healthy amount of scared, but not like, oh no, I can't do this. I'm like, okay, I can do this, but it's gonna be a new situation. I'm not like the #1 fan of new situations. I mean, I like them, but I like it better when I get through them and I get to do them for the second time. Was it difficult to agree on baby names with Nick? Yes, it was. It was just hard for us to both get on the same page, but the name we ended up liking, I think we're gonna use, was actually the first one we ever mentioned and ended up liking, so that's interesting. How have you been dealing with the fatigue? I just accepted it and said, I'm just gonna be slower and not be able to do as much as I used to get done in a day, and it's gonna be okay. And then it hasn't been too bad. Well, some days it's been really bad. Some days it's been like I can't do anything, but I've accepted that. Like, there are gonna be days when you can't get anything done, and that is okay. When you don't beat yourself up about that stuff, then you're able to bounce back faster, I think. Well, at least for me. Will you film a birth vlog? No, I don't think I will be doing that. I wanna just completely focus on giving birth. I will do a video telling the entire birth story in detail. Maybe I'll film some little clips of the birth, I don't know. But I'll probably film my second birth. I think I might do more for that one because I'll have been through it already and have an idea of what to expect. What has been your favorite trimester so far? Third. I like the third one. It's definitely a challenge because I'm much heavier and more tired, and that is like difficult. But once again, I think I'm maybe mentally less tired or something. Yeah, I think I'm mentally less tired than the second one. So I really like that. And I'm really excited because it's like, oh, he's almost here. Well, he's here, but he's almost like coming out. How many kids do you want now that you've experienced a full pregnancy? Well, I haven't quite experienced it, so we'll see what I say after giving birth, but I'm pretty set on at least 5, like I was before. I'm pretty set on that. Whether I end up giving birth, them, adopting them, whatever, I'm pretty dang sure I will have at least 5. And someone did ask, how do you feel about adoption? I would love to adopt, maybe even foster to adopt, I don't know, or just foster children in general. I would love to do that. It might be later, like when I have a little more parenting experience, that might be better. Like I'll have more to offer, especially to like foster children, but I would love to do that. Has your shot gotten any easier for you? Yes, although some days I'm still like, I don't want to do this, but it's really gotten easier over time. It's really not that bad. It's just kind of annoying at night when I'm just like, I don't want to stick a needle in myself right now, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Is it painful to move around and be active? Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Have you been having Braxton Hicks contractions? I actually had those a lot from like 20 weeks on for several weeks, and then I stopped having them. So I haven't had them for like a long time, actually. Would you ever consider starting a family YouTube channel? No, I will definitely not be doing that. Like I said, I believe in privacy for children on the internet, and I don't personally think that's a good idea for me. So I will definitely not be doing a family YouTube channel. I would more likely be doing a channel where, well, this channel where like I'm talking about family stuff, but my kids are not featured in the videos. What are your plans with the band after pregnancy? Well, for the band, which is my full-time job, it's just gonna keep going, and we're just gonna adjust the schedule a little bit. I love my job so much, and we're just gonna adjust it and make it work. So I'm excited to see how it's gonna be. How is your back? It really looks painful in the last picture. They're talking about a picture I took like 2 days ago. My back is totally fine. Maybe it's because I go to the chiropractor and I've been doing all these different strengthening exercises. I have no idea. I have not had almost any back pain at all, like just about zero. So I don't know. How much weight have you put on? I guess that's a good question to talk about with that. So considering the fact that I put on like 25, 26, 27 pounds, I would think I'd have more back pain, but I don't have any. So yeah, I'm not to the end, so I don't know if I'll be like 30, 35 pounds by the end. I don't know. Do you want a natural birth? So some people mean by natural like vaginal, and some people mean epidural free. And yes, I would want both of those. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really open to like whatever happens, happens. I'm not like super rigid about birth because it's not really something that you can be that rigid about, because sometimes things happen that are just completely out of your control. And if you are so rigid, you could really beat yourself up about something that was not your fault. So I would not like to use epidural, and I would like a vaginal birth. Yes, we'll see what happens. That's what I'm shooting for. Do you think this pandemic has made your pregnancy more stressful? Not really, except for the idea that maybe some things will be changed at the hospital when I give birth that would not have been changed otherwise. That would make it more difficult. So that's the one thing where I'm like, I hope not. Are you worried about Turner syndrome for future baby girls? Okay, so my sister Amy has Turner syndrome, and they're saying, am I worried about my future girls, if I have any, having Turner syndrome? No, I'm not worried about that, because yes, it's challenging when there are extra health challenges involved with a child, but, so that's a challenge, but I don't see Amy and anyone with Turner syndrome or any kind of syndrome as any like less valuable or less desirable. I don't think it's desirable to have a completely normal health, whatever you want to call that, child, except obviously you don't want to see your child go through extra health challenges. Yes, that's true. But I don't believe that I would put that child above one with Turner syndrome. They're totally equal. It presents more challenges, but every child has challenges in their own way, whether it's health or something completely different. So I'm not worried about that. If we had a child with Turner syndrome, then they would just have an awesome aunt to look up to who could be their role model. So I'm not worried about that. And no matter what syndrome any of my children had, Down syndrome, anything like that, I would totally welcome them with open arms, even though I know it would be very, very challenging. That's just the way that I see it. Do you want your next baby close or far in age to this little guy? I mean, it was really fun that I was really close to my siblings' ages, so I think I would like a closer in age baby, but I'm kind of like leaving it up to God, like putting it in his hands, like, okay, God, what's gonna happen? Like, I'll keep my options open. I don't know. I'm not planning it all out. What's been your hardest moment of the pregnancy so far? I think there's just been a few moments where I've been in so much pain where I could barely move. I was so tired. I was stressed because I wanted to get stuff done. I couldn't do it. And I was just like crying and crying to Nick in bed and just saying like, I don't feel like I can do this. I don't feel like I can handle this. and he would comfort me. And once I got it all out, I was like, okay, I can do this, I can handle this. But in those moments, that's definitely been difficult, feeling like, how do I know I can do this? How do I know I'm strong enough? But Nick's been really good at reassuring me, and I prayed a lot and felt a lot of like God's strength coming through there. So that's been difficult, but I've grown a lot from those moments. Which trimester was the hardest and why? Okay, so I haven't gotten to the end of my third trimester, so I can't say this one hasn't been the hardest yet, but definitely the first one. That was absolutely horrendous. Like, my morning sickness was so bad. I lost like 7 pounds, 8 pounds, I don't remember. And I was just like nauseous all the time. Everything was like disgusting. Every food, it was so horrible. I was so tired, so disgusted by everything. I just felt so horrible all the time. Didn't exercise at all, which made me feel even worse. And it was really, really difficult. I was sick all the time. Do you want your baby to be a singer or a musician? I don't want him to be anything other than what he is. So I think it's really cool. Like, I'll teach him musical things and see if he likes it, because I think it's really awesome to have that outlet. I think it's awesome to be able to just sing whenever you want and feel confident in that. I think it's awesome to have the outlet of like songwriting or playing an instrument. So I'll teach him those things, but if he doesn't care about them, then whatever. When did the baby first start kicking? I think it was 17 or 18 weeks. I was like, oh, I think I felt the baby kicking. I just knew. It was so weird. I just knew it was the baby kicking, even though the baby's really small then. He feels like a little flutter. It felt like butterflies in my stomach, but I just knew it was the baby, which is it's so cool that I just knew that when I've never felt that before, but it was really cool. Are you scared for motherhood, or are you more excited for it? I'm a little bit scared of not being only responsible for myself anymore, but I am very excited for motherhood, and I really love like teaching and being a role model and all that, so I'm really excited. Have you gotten extra emotional and cried more during pregnancy? Yes, definitely, but it's not like all the time. It's like more, but not all the time. Will you show us him meeting your sisters? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I could tell them to like film their reactions or something, that would be cool. All right, that is all the questions. Make sure you subscribe if you want to follow my entire pregnancy journey and learn more about my life and see the baby when he comes out. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be soon. And follow me on my social media. All the links are in the description, and that video I mentioned earlier is also in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.